People, how are we doing today? I'm actually just waiting for my system to tell me that I'm live, and here we are. Hey, gorgeous people, how are you doing today? It is an honor and a pleasure, as always, to be with you, and today I have a very important question. Are you happy? Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with, are you in a state of happiness? If you're not, then maybe it's time to change something. If you're not happy, why not? And what are you doing about it? Because what you may or may not want to hear is happiness is an inside job. Too many people are waiting to be happy. They're waiting for conditions to be perfect. They're waiting for their life to change. They're waiting for more money to come in. They're waiting for the perfect job. They're waiting for the perfect person to show up and the perfect partner to arrive. They're waiting for certain conditions in their life to change. And if that's you, then let me give you a little heads up. You're always going to be waiting for something to be different for you to be happy, because that is the state that you are creating. And even when those conditions change, if you are not deliberately creating a state of happiness, no matter what, then that happiness will be fleeting, because it is based on external conditions. It is based on things that are not necessarily in your control. The only thing that is in your control is your state of being. So when you master your state of being, this is about mastering your frequency and vibration. When you master your state of being, you are mastering your ability to create your life by design. This is that big. When you're in a state of happiness, joy, then your frequency and vibration is elevated. You are literally closer to universe, source, God. You have a deeper connection when you are in a state of happiness, bliss. And you can create that state by deliberately create that state. There is nothing stopping you except you. If you think that the way you feel is dependent upon your external world, you are always going to be at the mercy of the external conditions. Is that what you want? Remember, you are an infinitely powerful being, and you have the ability to create anything that you want, including an internal state of peace, happiness, joy, abundance, bliss, love. All of that is an inside job. So stop giving your power away to external conditions that are not in your control. Yes, of course, you can master the law of attraction, and you can attract the perfect partner, or you can attract the money that you want, or you can attract good health. But if you are waiting to attract those things to be happy, then you are still giving your power away to an external force, an external condition. Is that acceptable to you? How long do you want to wait to be happy? Give me a number. Do you want to wait a week? Do you want to wait a month? Do you want to wait a year? Do you want to wait 10 years to be happy? I didn't think so. Do you want to be happy right now? Then choose to be happy. You know, particularly on social media, I'm spending quite a bit of time on X or Twitter at the moment. And I see all these people getting drawn into this drama and their mental state, their emotional state is being hijacked, and actually it's even being amplified. Their state, their mindset, their state of mind, their emotional state is being hijacked by what they're seeing on social media. You know what I'm talking about. And then it's being amplified. It's being amplified because their social media feed, all of our social media feeds, are designed to give us more of what we interact with. So if you're interacting with different posts that create a certain state of mind and an emotional state within you, and your feed is constantly feeding you that, then it is amplifying that state of being. So when you get on social media, just a small tip before we go more into the happiness quotient of this, when you get on social media, make a definitive decision that you're not going to allow whatever is going on out there, because social media is all out there. It doesn't have to impact you unless you allow it to. That's totally in your control. So choose to remain neutral. Choose to remain ambivalent to the drama, to whatever is going on out there. Because the vast majority of the time, social media is not going to make you happier. Think about that. Yeah, sure. Sometimes you can get on your social media and you get off feeling better. But a large majority of the time, that isn't necessarily the case. Unless your newsfeed is filled with butterflies and puppy dogs and funny cat videos and all that kind of thing. Then yeah, maybe. But I know mine's not. So what I'm going to demonstrate to you is your ability. Firstly, what I'm going to demonstrate to you is how quickly your state of being can change as a result of external sources and external events. Then I'm going to demonstrate to you how you have the ability to actually master your state of being. You can deliberately change your state of being. Are you ready? Okay. So, firstly, I want you to imagine that you're going throughout the day, you're looking at your bills. And even if you're not in this position right now, I'm sure you can imagine it. You can remember a time when this was the case. So I'm pretty sure we've all been in this position at some point. But your bills are piling up. Your rent's due or your mortgage is due. Your car payments are ready to be paid. The insurance is due. The rates are due. And you don't have enough income to cover all these financial responsibilities. You don't have enough money at the end of your month. And it's stressful. And you're looking at your bank balance. And maybe the car just died and needs to be fixed. Or maybe your child just got sick and you just got a medical bill. But you can feel the stress of it, can't you? You can feel the anxiety. And you're just in this state of fear, anxiety, stress, and it's like you can feel your vibration tense. Now imagine you just won $10 million. Your bills are only $5 grand. 10 million bucks? Sweet. All the bills are paid, and now I can go on that holiday, and now I can get the car that I've always wanted, and now I can buy that house by the beach. Now I can go and visit my family in that far off country. Oh, now I can get the medical care that I want. it's like all of a sudden, all these possibilities are like, they're now real. All of your dreams are kind of like, and your state goes from stressed out to the max to, everything's taken care of. I'm good. I'm happy, happy days. Happy, happy, happy days. Now, you're in this state of bliss. You get a phone call. The person on the other end is sobbing. It's his sister. And your sister says, I'm really sorry to have to tell you this, but Mum just died. It was sudden and unexpected. You go from bliss and happy days to grief-stricken. Like the bottom just fell out of your world. The $10 million and all the bills are no longer relevant. Your mum just died. Sorry if I'm triggering you, by the way. Sorry if I'm bringing up memories, difficult memories. But do you see how you can go from any state to another state instantly, depending on external forces and external conditions? Now, these extreme kind of examples, I don't suggest that you're going to master your state of being and your emotional state to the point where these things don't affect you and don't impact you, and you go through life just never experiencing the highs and lows. Quite frankly, I think that would be really boring. I think we're here to experience it all. I think anybody who is that disconnected and discompassionate, I don't know, that's not a life to me. However, they are extreme examples. I want you to now think about, how's your state of being at the moment? Just 0 to 10. How joyful and happy do you feel? Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine something that just lights you up. Maybe it's a memory of being with friends. Maybe it's your children and playing with your children. Maybe it's that time that your son or daughter was in the school play or received an award, or they just achieved something, and through their happiness and their joy, your state of being was elevated. You felt joy, you felt happy. Maybe it was the time that you got the keys to your first house and you opened the front door and you walked through the front door of your house thinking, oh my God, I own this. Maybe you own it with the bank, but it's that sense of joy and accomplishment and satisfaction. Maybe it's when you got that new car. Maybe it's that holiday that you went on with. It was just the best holiday ever. Maybe it was the last time you were at the beach and you were just swimming around in the ocean and you're letting all your cares drift away. Do you see how your state of being has shifted? Here's another simple way to change your state of being and your emotional state like that. Smile. Smile. Do you know the simple act of smiling actually triggers the serotonin, the oxytocin, and the endorphins that flood your system? Just smiling. will actually elevate, even if you don't feel like it. Just smile. It's going to have an impact. And you know that laughing goes even further. Infectious too, isn't it? Yeah, I can do that. Just almost always, unless I'm really sad. If I'm really sad, then I can't do that. But just by laughing, you can change your state. You can also change your state by doing the things that you love. You can garden, cook, dance, sing, play with your dogs, play with your kids. Whatever makes you happy is going to elevate your frequency and vibration, put you into a higher state of being, and help to get you into a state of happiness. Now, if you are currently in a state of depression or sadness, I'm not saying that this is going to be easy. You've got to climb the ladder, but you've got to do it in a way that is intentional. It is my firm belief that depression happens because people are not in touch with their emotions. They're not dealing with their emotions. They're repressing their emotion. When I was working with a couple of really amazing therapists, not like psychologists or anything like that, but they were people I was going to for EFT tapping and kinesiology, and I just all of a sudden slipped into this state where I would wake up in the morning, and this was when I was still working in corporate, and I would wake up in the morning and I just didn't want to get out of bed. I mean, I'm a really happy person. Don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a very happy person. And all of a sudden, this just flipped. And I would wake up in the morning and I just wanted to curl up in the fetal position and just stay in bed. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. I had to drag my ass out of bed, get dressed, walk the dogs, do whatever, get on that bus early in the morning, get my ass into the center of the city to go to my corporate job. And I went through the motions day by day. And my therapist said to me, "You're depressed." And I went, what? Like, what? What did you just say? Can't be depressed. I don't get depressed. This is depression? Now, I wasn't clinically depressed, as in I needed medication to get over it. I just felt really sad. I just felt like this was before I awoke, by the way. This was kind of like right before I really got red pilled. I really realized that we we are living a holographic projection. Before I started that journey of realizing that we were in the matrix. This is before all of that. It's a long time ago. And the kinesiologist really, really helped me. And my EFT tapping practitioner really helped me. What I had to do, because I'm a happy person, I wouldn't acknowledge sadness. I might get sad and I might cry, but then it's like, push it down, get on with life. I'm happy. I'm happy. Sadness doesn't live in me. Yeah, it did. And I pushed all this stuff down until it had nowhere to go. And then it was just like, it all had to come out. And for about 3 months, I just felt like this never-ending sadness. I sort of said to my therapist, oh, when is this going to end? When is it ever going to end? She went, it'll finish when it finishes. And I dealt with so much stuff that was coming up. But that was my state of being. And at that point, I had no idea about these different things that we have access to be able to control our state of being. I had no idea that I could intentionally decide I was going to be happy. I still had to deal with those repressed emotions that needed to come up and be released. But I didn't at that point understand that there are tools and things available to us that we can use to deliberately elevate our frequency and vibration and actually be in command of our states of being. As long as there's not any extreme circumstances going on, I'll give you that. But if you want to wallow in all that stuff, then that's where you're going to stay stuck, and that's when things spiral. And coming back to the depression thing, it's finding, if that's where you're at right now, then and maybe you're on medication. There's like millions and millions and millions and millions of people who are taking medication for depression and other mental health issues. I highly recommend that you find a good therapist who can hold space for you and has the tools and the techniques and the strategies to be able to guide you through that, to be able to process those unprocessed, trapped emotions. Because not only are they going to diminish your ability to really enjoy life to the fullest, but they're also going to create dis-ease within your body. At some point, those things are going to be expressed physically, and you don't want that shit. Seriously. So, and I was watching a documentary yesterday called Introducing Homeopathy. I think it was on the Children's Defense website, and they were airing it for free. And I think that's I don't think they're airing it for free anymore, but I'll put the link to the video below anyway, because I've actually experienced homeopathy, and I'm a fan, but I was blown away by just how powerful homeopathy is. And I'm deviating a little bit. I know I like to dance around in these things, but I do want to give you a little example, because many years ago, one of the puppies that we had, she was a little Labrador cross. She wasn't so little, but when we first got her, she was just seemed to be allergic to everything. And I'll never forget lying in bed, and they were inside dogs, but they were out the back of the house. And there was a couch out there, and I'll never forget just lying there listening to her as I was trying to go to sleep, listening to her scratching and whimpering and scratching and whimpering and scratching and whimpering. I ended up going and sleeping with her on the couch. So she was small enough at that point that I could snuggle up with her on the couch, and she would fall asleep. At least then she would fall asleep for 20 minutes. And she'd wake up and she'd scratch and she'd whimper, and then she'd fall asleep again. Now, I was so blessed to have found a vet, or the universe helped me to find a vet who was a conventional vet, but also was a homeopathic vet. So I had two choices with this tiny little puppy, was to put her on steroids because she was itchy, man. She was just so allergic and so itchy. Put her on steroids, probably for the rest of her life, or we tried some homeopathic remedies. So homeopathy, it's a little bit of trial and error. You've got to find the right remedy. But you know what? When we found the right remedy, that gorgeous, darling little girl, it stimulated her immune system and helped her to overcome the itching and the hyper reactions, allergic reactions that she was having. And that totally calmed down. All the inflammation went away. She was no longer itchy anymore. every now and again, something would trigger the inflammation and the irritation again, and I would get that remedy out, give that to her, it was done. Freaking amazing, man. Now, you can't tell me that was placebo because she was a dog. You had no idea. So this vibrational medicine really is the future. And even for things like depression and grief and sadness, there's even remedies that you can buy off the shelf. They're not homeopathic, but they're bush flower essences that you can buy that are for a variety, that will treat a variety of different things. Bush flower essences are in Australia, they're in the southern hemisphere, and bark flower remedies are in the northern hemisphere, for the northern hemisphere. But you also can get homeopathic remedies for these things. Anyway, I digress. These things just pop into my head and I just like to share them with you. But these kind of things, these vibrational remedies are available to you to help you to process whatever is going on with you. Now, I'm not diminishing. If you're in a state of depression, particularly clinical depression, then obviously your medication is important to you, but find a natural therapist, healer, just seek them out. Trust the universe to guide you in the right direction, to find somebody who can help you to release whatever it is that's keeping you in that perpetual state. Because you can't live life like that. Seriously, you just can't. Well, you probably can, but screw that shit. Like, seriously, screw that shit. I believe we are here to experience all the emotions, but most of all, that we are here to be in a state of joy. So, do what makes you happy. Happiness is an inside job. Stop allowing your emotions to be hijacked by the external circumstances of your life. Now, there is a book. There is a book by Marcy Shimoff. Where is that book? There it is. Happy for No Reason. It's on the bookshelf behind me. Happy for No Reason. One of the best books I've ever read. And everybody I loaned it to, they went and bought one. Happy for No Reason. It is a fantastic book. Now, do you know, here's another really fascinating piece of trivia for you that's incredibly impactful. Do you know that happy people are wealthier? I know, right? So, why is that? Because happy people tend to be more resilient. They tend to be more opportunity minded. They tend to be a lot more positive about their life. And they see things very differently. They see things through a different lens. Happy people, their vibration and frequency is higher. So guess what? They're able to utilize the law of attraction more deliberately to attract what they want when they want, to create their life by design. Happy people are more likely to take positive action toward their dreams. So bottom line, get happy. Get happy. Decide. Happiness is a decision. It's not a state that is outside of your control. It's a decision. Decide you're going to be happy. For sure. If there's things in your life that are drawing you out of a state of happiness that you feel are preventing you from being in a state of happiness, deal with that shit. Deal with it. You are co-creating your life by design with the universe. What are you going to do about it? If you're not happy, what are you going to do about it? If you're not happy, what are you going to do to make yourself happy? And I don't mean waiting for external circumstances to change. I mean right now. What can you do right now that will help you to shift into a better state of being? I'm not even going to say a happy state of being because it depends where you're at. I mean, if you're at the bottom of the run right now, then getting to a state of happiness is like, it's like you may as well want to go to the moon or Mars. Talk to Elon. But you can at least improve your state of being. Esther Hicks talks about the different levels of emotional state. And if you're at the bottom, you've got to work your way up. You got to work your way up through the states. And you do that by taking deliberate action, by co-creating your life but deliberately, by creating your life by design, by drawing a line in the sand, by saying, enough, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore in my life anymore. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to take positive action. Do you know that just taking positive action will make you feel better? It may not make you feel happy, but it will make you feel better just by taking positive action. Because you are deliberately doing something about it. That feels satisfying. And the more you deliberately wake up every day and go, I'm done feeling like shit. What am I going to do today to create a state of a higher state of well-being in my life so I can get to a state of happiness? No, Mikhail, you don't have to do anything. You want to stay wallowing in whatever state you're wallowing in right now? Yeah, you can get to do that. You know what? You don't have to. You get to. You get to choose whatever experience you want to have. Think about that. You have the power. You are not at the mercy of anything unless you give your power away to external forces and external circumstances. So, gracious love, hello. It's always so nice to have people live on these sessions. Yeah, we are pretty much living alone. You're totally correct. We've isolated ourselves from community. So reconnect with people who actually uplift you. I must admit, it is, isn't it, Mikhail? It is a better perspective. I don't have to. I get to. So I have somebody who I have in my life at the moment who is going through some pretty shit stuff. And when we get together, I just give her permission to be in a shit state because life's a bit shit for her right now. But at some point, she's got to get out of that shit state and start to create her life by design, because otherwise it is a big, deep, dark cavern that will suck her in and she'll never be able to get out. And what I want you to know is that you have all the resilience, all the tools, all the strength, all the power within you to change anything in your life, including creating a state of happiness. So whatever it is that makes you happy, whether it's meditation, going to the beach, going for a run, being in nature, reconnect. Do you know, I firmly believe, apart from these repressed emotions that can cause depression, I firmly believe it's our disconnect from source, from nature, from our natural state of being. We live in these concrete jungles. I know, I'm surrounded by nature. We've got to get in. I've got to cut back some of our plants because they're kind of growing into the house. Our trees have grown so much and our bushes have grown so much. And we have so many birds here. And I love where we live because for so many reasons. It's so peaceful. There's more cows than there are people where I live. I live in a country town. And it's just, it is our happy place. But the majority of people, they are living in concrete jungles because that's where the work is, where that's where the money is. And I think that sucks our souls. I think it sucks the joy out of our lives. Not always, doesn't have to. but not having that connection, that natural connection to nature, I think that can be very, very destructive for our being. So if you do live in a concrete jungle, deliberately go down to a park. Find somewhere that you can connect to nature. Listen to the birds, watch the butterflies, see the insects. Put your feet in water. If you have a beach nearby, go to the beach, put your feet in the water, in the ocean water. It is so incredibly therapeutic for me anyway. When I go for a swim at the beach and I float or I stand as the waves, as long as the waves aren't crashing over the top of me, but as they come through, and I just imagine that all my cares are just being swept away by the waves. That is so therapeutic for me. Going for a horse ride is therapeutic for me. Being with my dogs is therapeutic for me. So what shifts your emotional state? What helps you to be happy? Now, I have something very exciting coming up. I was trying to put together a landing page today so you could actually sign up for this, but it all got too hard. So if you are not a member of my Wealth Consciousness Movement community, wealthconsciousnessmovement.com, sign up. You get loads and loads and loads of great free shit. So, I don't spam you with anything. I'm always giving, always giving. My community receives a lot of really great stuff from me. So go and sign up there at wealthconsciousnessmovement.com, because I have an announcement coming soon about a brand new, very powerful technique that I have devised. It's going to help you with all of this, with your health, your happiness, your frequency, your vibration, your abundance, the love in your life. It's really powerful. I am very excited about this. I can't wait to actually to share this with you and with as many people as I can get onto this event that I'm holding. So the notification will be going out to my community in the next couple of days. So watch for that. I'm really, really excited about this. This has come about from a culmination of looking at all the techniques that I've done, that I've learnt, that I use, and thinking, how can I bring these together in like this, and it's quite a long process, but the intention is to actually heal as many parts of you as possible all at once. So if that sounds exciting to you, then make sure you're on my Wealth Consciousness Movement community newsletter, and that you're getting my emails and that you watch those emails, because this is going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. So I love you loads. Choose happiness. No matter what your circumstances are, you can still choose to be happy. It's a choice. It's an inside job. I love you loads. I will hopefully see you on that event that's coming up. Make sure you're in the Wealth Consciousness Movement community. Wealth Consciousness